Hello and welcome back to our channel, the place for those who want to excel at exams, work and languages. Today we're going to talk about one aspect that in learning is extremely important but often very underestimated, and it is time management. So if you are one person that has read everything about time management but you still feel that something is missing because you are not yet able to be as productive as you want to be, keep watching because I'm going to reveal what the missing link is. There is one theory that in time management makes a huge difference, but that very often, I've never really heard it actually in any time management theories. And it's a theory that was developed by Sternberg, Robert J. Sternberg, in 1988. It's called mental self-government, also known as thinking styles. Now, Sternberg does this analogy between our mind and the way we structure and process information and a way a state, a country, governs itself. Now, today we're going to analyze one aspect, which is called the different forms of government, because in time management they just open a new world. There are different ways in which a government can be structured, okay? For example, think about this. It could be a monarchy, so monarchic, could be oligarchic, hierarchic, and anarchic. So we're going to understand a bit what each of these means so that you can also start feeling, okay, who am I? Where do I fall into? Because according to that, you may have some pros, but also some risks, as usual, as for every kind of cognitive style and characteristic that we have. Let's start with monarchic. Monarchic are those people that like to have one project at a time. So they start a project, they need to finish it. Because like in a monarchy, there's only one person governing, right? So in this case, a monarchic person just needs to invest all their energy into one project until it is done. Now, this has a lot of advantages. For example, when you have a big project, you're just very ready to put in all your energy, all your effort in order to complete it. You will not go to bed in a lot of cases unless you have done everything that you wanted to do. You are just very dedicated, and that's amazing. There is one risk though, because of course, if I am so focused on one project and other things that are important come my way, I may tend to overlook them or just push them back until that project is done. While other times it would be good to just do them first because maybe the priority is higher. So it's just something to pay attention to, because as a monarchic you will tend to just focus your attention on one thing. There's only one thing, it's always in your mind, you just take care of that. Hierarchic people are very interesting because they're very structured, organized. They have the concept of hierarchy, so they prioritize things, what is more important, what is less important. That's fantastic. The pro, of course, is that you have structure, you give priority to certain things first, you don't get lost in things that are less important, so that's all amazing. There's only one risk here, which is that you love prioritizing, but at times you may get a bit biased and think that the way you prioritize things is the best way. It is not always true. So at times you may think that something needs your attention now when it is not the case. So just pay attention and ask yourself, okay, are my priorities actually priorities? Am I doing this because it's really what I should be doing first or not? And also leave space to flexibility. At times when we are too structured, we don't have space for spontaneity, flexibility that are needed if we want to succeed. Then we have oligarchic. Oligarchy, what is it? Is where there are several people governing, right? And an oligarchic person in this sense is that person that loves doing a lot of different things at once. So they are the masters of multitasking. So they don't mind jumping from one thing to the other, to the other, to the other. And that's a great advantage because an oligarchic person has the flexibility to move from one to the other, to the other, to the other, and to manage situations, teams, stuff. That's fantastic. What's the risk though? That unless you put together also the ability to prioritize things, you may find it hard to really give the right priorities. And also when there is a huge project, you're so used to changing what you do constantly that focusing only on one project at a time or a long project could be tough for you. Finally, we have anarchic. Anarchic, as the name says, are people that don't like having a plan. They prefer going with the flow. They prefer just going and doing what they feel they should do that day. The pro is that they have a lot of flexibility. The con is that, of course, if you want to work in a team, if you want to be organized with others, if you want to not waste time and not depend on other people's times, you need to have a plan. Now, why do we need to know these 4 styles? Because in the moment in which we understand not just which one we are the most, but what combination we are of all the 4 styles, combined with also all the other characteristics, the cognitive styles, the other thinking styles that we can have and so on, only then will we be able to plan our time effectively. Because you can already imagine that for a monarchic person, organizing the time in the same way an oligarchic person works would be completely absurd and useless. So whenever we learn, understand first, okay, what am I? And how can I structure my time so that it works well according to my thinking styles? These, of course, are just some of the thinking styles that you can have. If you want to start understanding how you work, so which ones you prefer, and which combination you have in order to see how to use them at your advantage, then get in touch and we're going to help you to find out how to bring out your genius within. Have a wonderful day and see you in the next video.